Right, Shalom.
Shalom, brothers.
Okay, we're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, giving all praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Double honors unto the prophets of Great Millstone, the elders.
That's right.
Okay, and honors unto you brothers out there on the highways and the byways, teaching this word, man, fellow laborers in this truth, man.
Yep.
Okay, we going to get straight into the scriptures, man. Isaiah 45 and 12. I have made the earth and created man upon it. I, even my hands, have stretched out the heavens, and all their hosts have I commanded, man. That's talking about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh gave the decree, and he created the heavens and the earth, man. And he decreed that man should be made upon the earth, man. This is the power that the whole world wants to rebel against, man. But here it is. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? It says, thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee. And they shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains. They shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. Now, who's that talking about? Really, all you nations, but the Lord mentions specific nations here. He said the labor of Egypt. The labor of Egypt, that's going into them Egyptians, man. Them people over there, them Arabs and them different Hamites over there, they gon' bow down to the nation of Israel, which is us, man. The merchandise of Ethiopia, everything them Ethiopians make, their work, everything they do is going to be towards satisfying the nation of Israel, and they're going to get their little piece, man, after 1,000 years, but they still going to be paying tribute. Alright? And the Sabians, men of stature, them damn fucking Hamites, man, them tall ass fucking Africans, man, you going into slavery underneath the so-called Negroes, the Spanish, Native American Indians, man, and that's why you see all these things happening on the news, these different events. That's all the Lord cooking up that prophecy, so that we can get to the point where he's going to deliver the enemies of his people, of his chosen, of his elect, of Yahweh Shai into their hands, man, into our hands, right? And we're going to have you, the scripture says, and they shall be thine, they shall come after thee in chains, they shall come over, man. So we're going to have you Africans, you Arabs, all you nations chained up. You're going to come after us in chains, man, like prisoners.
Yep.
Yeah. And they shall fall down unto thee, meaning you're gonna fall on your knees, man. Like in that movie 300 with what's that guy's name? Not Leonidas. Yeah, Leonidas, but the guy's name was Xerxes. Xerxes said to Leonidas, man, bow down before me, man. But guess what, man? You nations, you're gonna do the same thing to the nation of Israel. All the Israelite men, you're gonna bow down, you're gonna come, you're gonna drop down on your feet, on your knees, sorry, you're gonna prostrate, and it says, you're gonna beg, you're gonna make supplication, you're gonna beg for mercy, you're gonna be humbled in that day, man.
That's right.
Saying, surely God is in thee, meaning you're gonna know that we're the people of the Lord, that for sure. A lot of you heathens coming up, you guys are not Israelites, you guys are not. Listen, man, fair enough, that's all good. You can say that because obviously the Lord is hidden his power from you. Obviously you can't see that the Most High is dealing with us and he's raising us up because you're a heathen. You only respect what? Like something spectacular. So guess what? The Most High is going to make it spectacular. Going back to Isaiah the 41st chapter, going back to what Paul said, in the twinkling of an eye. The Most High is going to give us them spiritual bodies, man. The Most High is going to change us. He's going to magnify us, man, according to his own power. And you're going to know that the Lord is with us, one, because you would have seen our transition from slave to master, and two, we're going to be glowing, man.
Yeah.
It tells you that in the book of, yep, bro.
All the miracles that the Lord is performing in front of the whole world, man. And you're going to know, just like Egypt knew. Surely, the God of Israel is the Most High, man.
Daniel's 12:3. And they that be wise, that's talking about the elect, shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever, man. So we're gonna be Superman and Superwoman in that day, man. And there's gonna be no doubt that we're the people of the Lord, man. We're gonna have angels standing next to us on the commandment, man. You're gonna know we're the people of the Lord. You're gonna see the power. You're gonna feel the power, man. Right now, you're looking at us, and we're just like some niggas on the street with garments on. We look like normal men, and we're just speaking the word of the Most High, so you don't respect that. Because the only thing you even respect is when you get your head bust. But when we get them spiritual powers, we start flying around the place, you know what I'm saying? You see that power, that's when you're gonna be like, oh shit. Yo, these are the people, these are gods, these are people of the Most High. You're gonna say, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. Meaning you're gonna be like, man, to hell with Allah, to hell with all that madness, man. Because Allah, first of all, Allah didn't give you no answers, man. These other gods, these pagans, even you guys out there calling yourself high-level Satanists, Satan ain't giving you no damn answers, man. Satan done deceived your ass, man. Got you thinking all kind of madness, man. If you listen to the readings and the writings of them damn Satanists, man, the shit they believe, man, Satan done deceived them. Satan ain't told them the truth. You got a lot of these Satanists, they believe that Satan teaches them that basically Yahweh Shai ain't coming back to claim the earth, and basically he's going to leave the earth in the control of Satan, man. Well, if that's what Satan told you, then you know what, run with that, man. But you're going to find out that Satan ain't called the devil for no reason, because he's a deceiver and he lies to his even his own children. You got these dudes going to witch doctors, man. Witch doctor will promise you this, promise you that, man. But at the end of the day, these witch doctors ain't telling you that America's going to be destroyed, because Satan ain't revealing that to them. If a lot of you witch doctors should have told you to move out of America, man, but he ain't telling you that. They're telling you to set up a business and all that, and they're going to bless it. You got these guys talking about how they consulting the astrologers, then you should already know you're going into slavery.
That's not too far away.
You should already know that it's inevitable. You should just bow down and kiss the ring. It says, verily, thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. Yeah, that's a powerful scripture. The Most High is a God that hideth himself, man, because what the Most High does, he leaves it basically up in the air whether he did it or not. To those of you who ain't got no faith, who can't see. Like, you see a hurricane, you ain't gonna see the Most High, ain't gonna, you know, you ain't gonna physically see the Most High make that hurricane go fuck up Katrina, New Orleans. But we know the Most High did that. We see the power of the Most High, man. If you're a spiritual man, you'll see the movings, the workings of the Most High. This whole thing to do with Russia and Syria, that's the Most High, man. But these people here, they don't see, because the Most High don't come down in the chariot and start talking out the chariot, man. The Lord sends prophets, man. That's deep.
Yep.
That's deep, man. That shows you the Most High, man. The Most High is terrible. Here it is. The Most High, you think if the Most High came down himself and made himself known, man, and spoke, these people will rebel against that power, man. Are you out of your mind? Just, man, they'll get down, man. But where's God? You'll have an Edomite come on. Where's God? Can you prove to me that God exists? Why? Because the Most High hid himself. He's a power that hideth himself. Here it is, his people subjected unto slavery, hardcore slavery and pure atrocities for the last, centuries after centuries. That's another way the Most High hideth himself. So these are like, nah, the God of Israel, ain't no God of Israel, man. Because look, man, them people are fucked up. We doing all this wickedness and ain't nothing come back. We died and came back. Now these dudes are done forgotten even there is a God of Israel. They done forgotten there is an Israel. Because the Most High done hidden himself, man. If your eyes are not open, you know what I'm saying? If your eyes are open and you know the scripture, you see the workings of the Most High every day. You're like, damn, the Most High, shit, don't fuck around with the Most High. The Most High will fucking have you walk out in the road and get your head smashed. But again, they'll say, oh, that was the car. They'll come up with every, madness under the sun to explain away, because they didn't see the Most High actually do the order, man. There wasn't no CCTV when the Most High was like, yo,
push in front of the car. You know what I mean?
tell the angel, you see that guy, dust him. And then the angel came down. You don't see all that because the spiritual world is around us. They could choose to reveal themselves, manifest themselves, or they can remain hidden. There's angels always around, man.
Yep.
There's always angels around doing things, man. Manipulating this world, man. Because this world is still in the hands of the Most High, man. The hands of the Most High are the angels, man.
Yep. The creators of the world, man.
Everything that you see happening around us is being orchestrated by the angels, man. That's why the scriptures say they don't never cease on their works. Let me get that in the scriptures, man.
To me, man, the angels that the Most High uses to do all these, all these events and things like that, everything that happens on this earth, and the Most High is just, kept them invisible, man, to your eyes, man. Thinking that everything just happens by chance and whatever, man. But the truth is, the Most High is orchestrating all of this. Okay, if a person dies, like brother saying, get hit by a car or whatever, man, that's because the Most High ordained that to happen, man, and the angels made it happen. However it needs to get done, it gets done.
Yep.
This
is the book of Sirach 16:26 says, the works of the Lord are done in judgment from the beginning, and from the time he made them, he disposed the parts thereof. He garnished his works forever, and in his hand are the chief of them unto all generations. In his hand are the chief of them, meaning the angels, man. The angels are in the hand of the Most High, man. So what does that tell you about the spiritual demon Satan, man? The scripture says that he's in the hand of the Most High to all generations, man, to ever. Okay? No pictures, man. No pictures, sir. There's no zoom. Okay? We in the hand of the Most High. The angels are in the hand of the Most High forever, man. So, you guys are bugged out your mind, man. Talking about how Satan fell from heaven and all this kind of bullshit, man. It's in the scriptures, man. The demons, all that, they work for the Most High, man. They do the Most High's work, man.
So, Satan's still an angel on the left-hand side of the Most High, man. He's bringing messages to these fucking idiots out here, man, deceiving them, man.
Yeah.
He's a deceiver. That's his role.
Filling them with pride, man.
That's right. That's why all these elites, man, they're misguided too.
Hey, even in that movie Devil Advocate, you had the devil. He was like, pride, definitely my favorite sin. Yeah, the devil filling these damn Edomites up with pride. That's why these devils in America, they're looking to. You got some of them devils are scared now. Some of them devils, because you gotta understand one thing, man. Look, man, you people are getting it twisted. When we talk about the so-called white man, we're talking about all you Edomites. But we know that all you Edomites, you just ignorant devils, man.
Yeah.
You ain't in the know. Even a lot of these Edomites that you think are in the know, they're still not in the know. They're on a need to know basis, man. Very few Edomites actually know the full deal. Because a lot of these Edomites, they manipulate, not by telling them everything, but they just know whether their motivator is money or women or whatever, or power. They manipulate them. Like David Cameron, he don't know the full deal, man. He's just motivated by power and money, so they use his ass. You think they tell that guy every Rothschilds come and sit him down and tell him everything, man? Like he knows the full deal. He knows what he needs to know to do what he's supposed to do, and they manipulate him like that. He's called a useful idiot.
David Cameron, he ain't in the Order of 13, man. The Council of 13.
Yeah, he don't know everything,
he ain't a part of none of that, man.
You got a lot of like mans like Jay-Z, they don't know everything. They know a little something, what they allow them to know.
Or what they want them to.
What they want them to think and to know. And they motivate them using money and these things, man. Esau is a master manipulator. He's a devil. He knows what your lusts are, and he'll come to you and use that to manipulate you. He don't need to fucking tell every member of Congress, oh, this is why we're doing this. And no, but if he wants to get your vote, he knows how to. He might just say he might have money might be your motivator, so he just gives you money. He don't tell you. That's why you got a lot of these devils signing bills they're not read. Because they got bought off, man. They don't need to tell them everything, man.
It's like even on a deeper level, man. Satan knows the full deal, but he's lying to his Edomites,
you
man.
Fucking devils out there, man.
He knows what's gonna go down. He's
he knows
laughing.
America's gonna be destroyed, man. He knows his kingdom's gonna go down. He's gonna have to relinquish the power over the earth. He already knows that, man. He knows there's an appointed time, man. He ain't trying to fight the Most High and get one over on the Most High, but he's got you devils thinking you can. He's got you full of pride. That's why some of these devils are getting scared, because they were going along with this whole agenda, like they thought it was all fun, the New World Order, you know, they thought it was all good, and they thought they're making money along the way, so why not? But now they're like, hold on, this thing's going a bit too far, man. Like,
where's it gonna lead us,
some
man?
fucking nukes might end up. That's why Alex Jones, he's scared, man. He's bitched. He's a fucking insider, but now he's getting scared because the elites probably told him, look, man, we're gonna set you up. You're gonna be like a champion to the people to bring out certain truths, but don't worry, we got you. There ain't really gonna be nothing major that's gonna happen. We just want control. You can't stop it anyway. So, but now Alex Jones is getting scared because he's thinking nukes might drop on his fucking head, man. He's scared about the direction that this train is going in, man. And he ain't the only one. You got a lot of them guys, man. Even some of them congressmen are thinking, hold on, some nukes might drop in America. I gotta live here. I didn't know this is where this was gonna go. And some of them, they probably would have told him that there ain't gonna be no World War III. You know, but just go along with this thing and don't worry, it's gonna fizzle out anyway. But they don't, they don't know. Look, man, there is gonna be a World War III. You know? So like I said, not all you devils are in the fucking know. You got a head, you got arms and leg. My leg don't know what my head doing. It's a leg. When the head tells the leg what to do, the leg don't get consulted, man. The same thing with a nation, man. You got the heads, then you just got the rest of the body, man. And guess what? Most of the parts in your body are expendable, man. That's why you devils, you finding out now that you're expendable, man. That's why you got all this uproar and all these people now wanting to come against the government and come against their elites, because now they're expendable and they're starting to see that their elites straight up cutting them off. Well, boo-hoo. Good for your ass, man. That's right. Okay, going back to the angels, he garnishes works forever, and in his hand are the chief of them unto all generations. They neither labor. What does it mean they neither labor? Does it mean they don't work? Of course they work. What it means is labor implies effort, man.
No hard thing for the angels.
The angels is effortless, man. They're pure energy. They don't get tired. You know, anything the Most High send them to do, they're not, I mean, I gotta do this. You know, like your boss might tell you to go break up a damn pallet or lift that box. You be like, oh, my back hurts, I'm a bit tired. Or you'll have to stop after. The angels just do. They don't take breaks. They just do. The Most High like, do this, do that, do that. They just do. Neither labor nor are weary. They don't get tired of doing the will of the Heavenly Father. Satan don't get tired of deceiving, man. That's what he just does.
Purpose, yeah.
Okay. Nor are weary, nor cease from their works. Meaning the angels have always got jobs to do. There's always things happening. That's what I'm saying. There's always things happening on the earth. As long as there's always things happening, there's angels behind that, man. There's angels recording it. There's angels directing it. You know? There's angels guarding, man. The Most High might set up an angel to guard this guy. There's demons guarding the Rothschilds. You think you average everyday devils gonna get your hands on the Rothschild, man? Because they got a big part to play. You got certain devils that are protected because they have a part to play in this thing. Like even down to their little mini guys like Tony Blair and that. He had, in history, the Most High done said, look, Tony Blair, he's gonna link up with George Bush, and they're gonna be the vessels that are gonna take America and Britain and NATO into Iraq. So there was demons with them guys, man, making sure that they got to that position they got to, and they did what they had to do. So everyone plays their part, and the angels are behind that, man. Same with the men on the right hand side. There's an angel that came in and opened your mind up to this truth, man. And the scriptures tell you about the angels that surround the men that fear him, man. That guide your, you know. Isaiah 45:15. Verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confounded. All of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. Okay? But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end. And that's going into the elect. We ain't gonna be confounded in these times because nothing surprises us. Because everything that's happening on the news is prophecy. Prophecy out of these scriptures, man. We weren't even surprised when we heard that Obama want to go into Syria. Well, yeah, it makes sense. It's in the scriptures. We ain't gonna get bugged out. We ain't gonna lose our minds when the martial law occurs or they start chipping. A lot of you Israelites, you're gonna lose your minds. You're gonna be confounded. You're gonna have to rethink your whole life, man. When that microchip starts getting pushed, because you've been taught by Gehenna and these guys that's not part of Bible prophecy. So then you might end up, a lot of you guys might end up even stop believing in the Bible, because you're gonna say, well, the Bible never told me nothing about this. When it did, but your ass just weren't listening, man. When America destroyed, man, these Christians, man, where was that? Where was your preacher teaching that? He didn't have a clue. A lot of you ain't gonna have a clue when these things happen. When they shall say peace and safety, and you know what, man, I believe what might happen is Congress might very well vote against that strike. And by voting against that strike, everyone's gonna think, oh yeah, there's peace now. You know? But then big ass false flag and they do the strike anyway, man. Sudden destruction, man.
Well, this is the thing, man. It doesn't matter what happens in Senate. It don't matter. Either way, it's going to happen. Whether Obama has to do a false flag or they just vote to go in, it doesn't matter. Either way, you know, the prophecy has to be fulfilled, so it's gonna happen, man.
That's right. It's all about prophecy, man. Right? And if you know the prophecies, you can't be confounded. That's why the Most High told you something before it happens, so you don't get caught out there by surprise. Was it Isaiah 33:6? For wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. Okay? Stability, meaning you're not going to be confounded, man. You're not going to be messed up in the mind. You know exactly what to expect. So you don't get bugged out. That's part of being strengthened in this truth, man. But that's why you got to constantly go over these scriptures, man. Listen to the elders, listen to the prophecies, man. So that when these things are unfolding, you don't get worried and we don't get worried when we hear about World War III. You got guys losing their minds, man. Oh my God, this could be World War III. We could all be killed. All this, losing their damn minds. They're worried about the whole earth being destroyed. Alex Jones and all these guys. Oh, the whole earth. Blah, blah, blah. That's the end of life. No, it's the end of your world, man. It's the end of your world as you know it, man.
See, the brothers out there, man, we know the end game, man. We know the goals of the Most High.
Oh, that's the scripture.
You know, so we know how everything's supposed to plan out. And now we just wait for those days to pass. You know, the Syria thing, man, that leads towards the bigger conflicts, man. That World War III. Because obviously, you know, Iran and America, Russia, China, they all got to go at it, man. That World War III is where it's going to be, man. You know, and that Syria, hey, most likely will lead to all that. Yep. It looks that way. You know, because Russia's not going to sit still, man, and twiddle their thumbs, man. Putin's already sent out strong messages, man. You know, and you know Iran's down. Okay, China's not far behind them, man. Okay, so once this really gets super hot, then that's when that World War III conflict is gonna stem from, man, to go live, man. And that's when all you people out here are gonna start cowering, not being uncertain of your future, man, because you don't know nothing out here. Yep. You know, you're all consumed about your own personal lives and and all this madness, this
That's
vanity.
why when, man, it's gonna be a beautiful day when your bank accounts get emptied, man.
That's right.
When your bank account get empty, you see the Most High knows how to really, man,
Fuck with
fucking
you, man.
throw a spanner in a man's works, man. You know what the ultimate spanner for all you peoples out here works is? When your bank account gets empty, when your pension plan is gone. That's your whole life, your bank account. And the more money you got, the worse it's gonna be for you.
Yeah.
See, for me, if I lose everything, really, I'm
That's just my week's paycheck, or if that's that.
well, fuck the week. I'm in debt, man. I'm in overdraft. If they empty out my bank account, there's nothing in there.
You're plussing.
Yeah, I'm going back up to zero, which is kind of like a plus. But all you guys out there, you got 10 grand, you got 20 grand, you were saving up for this, you got 30 grand. The worst ones are gonna be you celebrities, man. The Most High gonna get you, man. You Mayweathers and all that, man. You gonna lose, man. You gonna lose out. Will Smith, all you guys that sold your soul for riches, man. That moth, what does Scripture say? That moth and moth
eating, yeah.
Eat. Well, guess what, man? Like, you guys are gonna get you losing everything, man. You got 50 Cent investing his money in Goldman Sachs and all that. Look, man, 50, you gonna go from having 300 million to having zero. You gonna have only what you got on, which is gonna be whatever watch you got on and all that.
Hey man, you're even gonna lose your celebrity status, man.
Yep.
In the day of martial law, man, no one gives a fuck who you are, man.
That's right.
You know?
There ain't gonna be no
Whether you
celebrity
50 Cent
power
with
in
Mayweather,
that
man. Hey man, you're gonna get shot at, man.
The only
Simple.
celebrity in the martial law is gonna be a weapon. The weapons are gonna be the celebrities, man. That's what people are gonna look up to. That's what people are gonna respect, man. They ain't gonna give a fuck about no 50 Cent, man. That's why the scripture tells you quite plainly in what is it? Isaiah 28.
I keep saying to brother, man, you know, I'll find great satisfaction when I see all these proud faces that walk about us, man, drop.
Yeah, man. Hey, and
I'll take great satisfaction in that, man.
The ultimate thing to do that. Fuck a false flag. Your bank account's getting emptied, man. That'll be like, you got, man, that you people's hearts will be broken, man. Your pride is gonna be gone. Everything you work for, all your hopes and dreams, gone overnight. That's how it's gonna come down on you, and you people are gonna lose your minds.
That's right.
Some of you are gonna kill yourself. Some of you are gonna be killed.
Some gonna go out killing.
Some are gonna go out killing. Lose your mind. Snap. Mental breakdown, man. This is Isaiah 28 and 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Who's got a covenant? Who's death? Death is the so-called white man. He's a man of sin. What's the number of man of sin? Is death. He's a devil. You different guys out there that sold out to Satan, whether you signed on the dotted line or you just spiritually sold out, right? But mainly I'm going into you guys that made that money, man. Like TD Fakes. What's the other faggot, man? That dresses up like a damn woman, man.
Oh, Martin Lawrence.
Nah, he's another faggot. Nah, the other one, the preacher. But he dresses up like a damn woman. Madea, Tyler Perry, man. Tyler Perry's bitch ass, man. You going down, Tyler. All that money you got, man, from selling your soul and being a straight up flaming faggot, the Most High is gonna empty that bank account, man. You're gonna go to use that credit card, that platinum card you got, it's gonna be empty. You're gonna go back to being a zero, man. You're gonna go from hero to zero. That covenant you had with death is gonna be disannulled. And them elites, whatever they promised you, you should know not to make a deal with the devil. You're gonna end up in a concentration camp with the rest of the niggas, because that's all you are, man. And you know what, man, that's the only thing I can say about Mayweather. At least he knows that. Because he said it himself. If you're rich, you're a rich nigga. If you're broke, you're a broke nigga. If you're smart, you're a smart nigga. At least he knows he's, to the so-called white man, he's still a nigga. But a lot of you ain't in, you actually think you're part of the deal, man. When you're nothing but a fucking tool. And once a tool has lost its use, what you do with that tool? You throw that tool away. So you're finished, man. And I'm gonna be glad that day when all you celebrities and all you proud ass niggas, man, all you niggas that make money in this society, man, doing all kind of wickedness, man, I'm gonna be glad that day that you end up going down to zero. That's what the Most High does to these drug dealers. They be living good, then bam, Most High come in on their ass, SWAT team send the devil, and the devil's SWAT team their ass, and they lose everything, man. They show you that in that movie, Paid in Full, man. Lose everything. Then put in a slammer, man. All that shit that they had, when they come out, they ain't got none of that shit. That money's gone. A lot of these niggas come out and they're nobody now, because there's new guys on the block. Everyone's moved on. Yeah? I've seen a lot of guys like that. In the ends. The ghetto superstars. Now where are they? They got locked up, got everything taken. Now where's that stash of cash they had? That's gone. Now they gotta even try to go back to doing wickedness, but you know what, man, when the Lord does this thing, that's the end of the road, man. Ain't gonna be no going back. You can't sell your soul twice. Ain't gonna be no more movies for Denzel. He ain't gonna be no opportunities for you. You're just gonna lose everything and you're gonna go into misery and death, which is what you deserve. Right? Oh, not to mention you false prophets out there that sold out, man. You covenant with death is gonna be disannulled, man. Trust in Egypt's gonna be a shame, man. You thought you was gonna be protected. You thought this white man was always gonna be here, so you gonna live nice. Comfy's got that money in his bank account that he got them millions, man. That's gonna disappear. The white man's taking all that back, man. Whether it be a cyber attack or whether it be as a result of the economy going to hell because of the whatever. It says, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. Yeah, your agreement with this world, with this society, man, because you're in agreement with this society. You play your part in this society, man. And you jakes out there that willfully take the money to further destroy your people, man. The Most High, man, is gonna strip you and he's gonna burn you, man. You're gonna lose everything, then you're gonna suffer, then you're gonna lose your life. Because that's some wicked shit, man. Talking about how you out there encouraging your own brothers to be destroyed, basically, man. Jay-Z and all these rappers, and not just the rappers, man, you out there getting paid to destroy your own people, man. You drug dealers, you getting paid off destroying your own people, man, and that ain't right, man. And that's the worst form of filth. Yeah? You worse than a hooker, man. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. What's that overflowing scourge? That great death that's written about in 2 Nephthys 16 chapter, man.
See, that's another thing as well, man. Once you guys lose your mind, man, all your money's gone, you can't afford food. Okay, you know, martial has to be declared, man. A situation like that can't be left unattended, man. And that's when you're gonna see the streets being policed, man. Okay, a lot of people are gonna die.
Right, this is the overflowing scourge. 2 Nephthys 16. Let me start from 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn away from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. What's that talking about? Meaning you already got that death coming on the earth, but people don't consider that the reason why all these bad things are happening, like 100,000 motherfuckers dead in Syria and the tsunamis, and they don't consider that the reason why these things are happening is because of the wickedness. So so that's why these people are just carrying on headlong in their wickedness, man, because they're not considering that all these events that are happening all over the world and all this madness that's happening, man, like crazy shit, is the Most High starting to bring judgment on this earth. They're not going to consider, like, hold on, maybe all these problems America are having is because you're nothing but a bunch of faggots, lesbians, and you got a blood debt to pay with the Most High, and you niggas ain't even trying to get right. You just carrying on, like pretending like it's not happening, like it's normal.
This is the thing, you know, the white man talks in this sense so he can remove God from your minds, man. He won't relate anything to do with wickedness, because that implies God is judging a nation's wickedness. Okay, but he'll just say, oh, this is atrocity by man, you know, for some other reason.
Or it's a natural disaster,
yeah.
It's global warming or something, man.
No, but if you read through the scriptures, every time the prophets, well, the Lord sent the prophets, man, he would tell that kingdom, man, that your wickedness is exceeding. The Lord is going to come, you know, and do something to you, man. You know, whether they hear or forbear, man, that was up to the king at the time or whatever, man. But, you know, the prophet always came because of their wickedness. It wasn't, you know, a random occurrence, man. Okay, it's down to people's wickedness.
It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? That's that overflowing scourge that the Lord's going to bring. And that's going to be embodied by what? The World War III and the martial law, which you might as well call World War III martial law, because martial law means warlike law. Mm-hmm. In the times of war, that's what you're going to get.
Yep. And the hunger and famine is going to stem from all of that. The economy collapsing.
The biological weaponry that they be launched, which they be testing. If you watch the news, you be see where you get outbreak here, outbreak there. Look, man, them outbreaks ain't natural, man. Mm-hmm. The so-called white man is testing. If I release this, how far can it get? Can I control it? That's why you get them randomly out of nowhere. You get a village in the middle of Africa somewhere, and they all get Ebola. There's a big outbreak. Then randomly, just no. The so-called white man is doing an experiment for when he releases it.
And the next time it'll appear somewhere else, a couple mutated versions of it.
Mutate, yeah.
And then again, it'll disappear.
Disappear, just like that. It just popped out of nowhere, right? Materialized out of thin air, and then it just disappeared.
I mean, I think when we got the flu virus, what was it, H1N1? I don't know what number we're on now, man. I know it ain't that no more. You know?
But that was all a test.
Yep. And then they bought up all them vaccines.
What's it called? A vector? They were testing their vector. They're testing the carrier. They're testing what's the best delivery system.
And they're also testing the minds of you people, man. How much fear it puts you in.
That's right.
Because all them vaccines were bought up, weren't needed, man. And them vaccines were giving you the damn fucking thing, man. Making you susceptible to other viruses and shit.
Yeah, they do tests like these.
You know?
They'll go in what's it called, on a train and release that shit and see how it spreads. Monitor it.
Well, that's what the movie Contagion was about, man.
Yep.
You know?
So they know. So now, when that thing kicks off, man, when World War III kicks off, man, listen, man, ain't gonna be no rules of fucking engagement, man. All that international law and all that shit's gonna go out the fucking window. It's war. So they're gonna use chemical weapons. If one side's use chemical weapons, the other side's gonna use it. They ain't gonna say, oh, we ain't gonna use it because of morals. Alright?
Like America has great morals.
Yeah. Why you think they got that shit still? Sarin gas and all that, and anthrax.
UK been supplying Syria for 4 or 6 years with the chemicals to make chemical weapons, man. So, you know, how is these nations any more righteous than Syria or any of these other Arab nations or whatever, man? They're all hypocrites.
That's right. So in that World War III, you're gonna have Russians. They show you in that game, modern warfare, man. Where the Russians released that chemical attack in London, man.
Yep.
That shit's gonna be happening, man. And they got airborne Ebola. They got mousepox with a 99% kill rate, man. They got the old Spanish flu. And they're mixing all that shit up into some super viruses, man. Right? overflowing scourge that's gonna catch you niggas too. You niggas that sold out to the so-called white man, you ain't got a spot in the bunker, man. With the Rothschilds, man. You ain't got a place on the Ark. What was that film? The day of no.
No, it wasn't that one.
Tomorrow, world, end of the fuck was that film, man?
Not
It wasn't the day after tomorrow.
No, it wasn't one that was called that. It was shit, I got it in Dodge.
2012.
Yeah, that's the that was it. Yep.
2012.
Yeah, the black dude get on the
Jake.
Yeah.
The e-book.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. And they had the Ark. And they had the Queen going on there and all that. Why the fuck would you want to save that bitch? That old ass bitch. She's an ugly looking ass bitch too. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna get a spot, man. In them deep underground bunkers, man. You ain't gonna get no armed guards. You gonna be left out there, man.
Scripture tells you, man, time of Jacob's trouble, man. You know?
You gonna be like a Caribbean dog or a Caribbean cat. See, in the West Indies, man are not like people in England and shit. When there's a hurricane coming, niggas don't be bringing their dogs inside. People are inside. The dogs are out there. If they survive the hurricane, then they survive. Okay. even a cat might get in, but sometimes the cat don't get in time. Man ain't going out there. He either might as well run out there looking for it. Man, they ain't looking for the cat. Oh, she didn't come back. Oh, lock the door, man. Hurricane time. We ain't going out there for her. You feel me? So that's what you Jakes out there that sell out to the system. That's what you gonna be like. You gonna be like a Caribbean dog when that hurricane comes through, man. You gonna be out there, man. You ain't part of the family, man. You ain't gonna be eating that corned beef and rice inside, man, and playing dominoes and shit. You gonna be out there, man, fending for yourself, right? Right. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it, man. So that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee that when all this hell breaks loose, you Jakes that sold your soul, you ain't gonna be protected. And the white man ain't even gonna try and protect you. You're gonna be left out there, right? You're gonna be trodden down by the martial law, the race riots. A lot of you people are gonna wake up to the fact that you was working for the so-called white man. You're gonna get killed by people who used to be your fans. Used to be your followers. You're gonna wake up to your ass. Scripture says there shall be nothing hid that shall not be revealed. Right? Now going back to what the brother said earlier about you people in the world, Ephesians 5 and 15. Sorry, 5 and 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light, man. You people out there in the world, you're asleep, man. You don't know what's going on, man. When you're asleep, you're not aware of what's going on around you, man. You're asleep, man. You don't know what cars went past your window. Hell, you got people coming up in your house, man, rob your damn house, man. While you're sleeping, man. Right? You people out here in the world are asleep. You don't have no clue what's going on. And you know how we know? Just by looking at you, man. We know you, and you can tell a guy don't know what they're, just by the conversations they want to have. You know, when you go work and all that, you're around different people. Man, they don't know. They don't have one clue. They're more concerned with Premier League football than the fact that World War III is about to bust out on the world stage, man. And they're gonna catch all kind of hell. They don't know nothing about that. They're not watching the world events. They don't know that they're back. You got people at my workplace asking me why I'm not paying into the pension, man. Telling me I should pay into the pension because it's for the future. See, if they knew anything, they would know that, first of all, that as soon as that money goes into that account, that is gone. That money doesn't need, they've already taken that, man. You dumb motherfuckers, man. None of your pensions exist. Their numbers, they took that money, that's gone. Because they know by the time you're at, look, man, you're not even going to probably be alive. They done stole them pension accounts, man. Just like with MF Global, man. When they stole them. You see, you guys are not smart, man. If you would see what happened with MF Global and you saw what happened with Greece, you saw what happened in Argentina when they had a downgrade, when they had to revalue their currency, you'd be like, hold on. So them people in Greece, they took money out their bank accounts? Hold on. MF Global, they straight wiped out their bank accounts? That means my money ain't safe in the bank. That's what I'll be thinking. But you people think that your money, your pensions are safe. Because you're stupid. And you don't know the so-called white man's a damn thief. That's gone, man. I'm letting you know right now, if you got pension somewhere, man, you better cash that shit in, man. If you're smart, man, and spend that shit now while you can. Because that shit is gone. Why am I not paying into the damn pension plan? Give me my motherfucking money, man. I want my money in my hand. I don't want to put that shit in no pension fund, man. I know Nathan that probably got a pension fund. Progress. You don't need no fucking pension fund, man. I ain't looking to be alive that long anyway. In this kingdom. Shit, I'd rather do the work of the Most High and catch a heart attack, man, die young, than live for damn 80, well, whatever the retirement age is going to end up be if we were to carry on in this kingdom. Which by the time we got to like, what is it, 65 or 65 now for men or something, or 70? By the time we get to 70, it'll be already about 150. So you people are not awake. You ain't got a clue. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. The light of these scriptures. Right? That's why when you talk to brothers, it's like fresh air, man. Because you know, yeah, bro, you be watching that news, bro, and you start conversating on real shit, man. Shit that's real. And you have proper perspective on everything. Because even these guys that bring out a lot of this information, even they don't have proper perspective on what's going on. Like Alex Jones, they don't really, you know, they know up to a certain level, but they still don't get it, man. They're really asleep. They think they're awake. They're really asleep still. Trying to save America. If we can avert this world war. No, you're not averting a damn thing. First of all, who are you? You truth, you know, we let all this information. Listen, you ain't stopping a damn thing. Oh, what you think, man? We can bring back the republic if we impeach this guy and impeach. Look, man, you little man. The Lord have already spoken.
Do they really think they have the power to do that? Come on, man.
That's because they don't know this. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. As wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
That's right.
That's a hard scripture. And that's something that these people in the churches, you got churches talking about how they're praying for America, man. For America to come back. That shows you that them stupid, dumb motherfuckers in the church don't understand what the will of the Lord is. Because the will of the Lord, let's get the will. Amos chapter 9 verse start from let me just get straight to the point. Amos verses 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, save believing that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Meaning the Lord's going to deliver the elect of Israel. The will of the Lord is to destroy America's that sinful kingdom, man. The Lord said he's going to destroy it off the face of the earth, man. But here it is, you want to save America when the Most High is determined to destroy America.
They always make me laugh, right? Everyone knows about the book of Revelations, right? They know there's supposed to be some big war, Armageddon, alright, but they want to try and avert it. But that's the Most High's will.
That's inevitable.
You know, so this is always going to happen.
Let me look up the word inevitable, man. Because the destruction of America is inevitable. There's something that you watched The Matrix. You had
Smith.
Agents Smith. He was staunch, man. He kept repeating, look, man, why are you fighting for? You fighting against inevitability, man. That's
It's
foolishness.
inevitable.
Just give up. What did the Borg say? Resistance is futile. You get this dictionary up, man. Inevitable. Unable to be avoided, evaded, or escaped. Certain. Necessary. An inevitable conclusion. America's gonna come to an inevitable conclusion. The conclusion that is written, the judgment which is written in the scriptures, man. Sure to occur, happen, or come. Unalterable. That's the word of the Most High, is inevitable. The inevitable end of human life is death. Yeah, that's in the scriptures. The sentence laid upon all men. That which is unavoidable, right? That's it on that.
No,
So-
I like the unescapable bit, man.
Yeah,
You can't escape from this, man. You know, this is a one-way train, man, and its destination is destruction. America's destruction. That's it. And you know, you heathen, man. You're going into slavery. That's your last stop in this journey, man.
Yeah, you so-called white people, man. The scriptures call you the son of perdition, man. Now, you gotta understand that America. Well, you Edomites, but we're dealing with America because that's your kingdom. So your kingdom is going to be destroyed, then you're going to go into slavery, then you're going to be destroyed. But according to the scripture, America was on the road to perdition, man. See, America's end was always going to be what it was going to be. It's not something that happened by chance, because the Lord, when you go into the Revelation, the 12th chapter.
You know, supposedly when America was established by you so-called white people, man, you know, you Puritans, you came to know the scriptures, and you know, based upon what you should know, based upon what you did to the Native Americans and the natives of the Americas, man, that your kingdom was doomed to fail, man, because you built it upon blood, and the scripture clearly tells you, woe to thee, man. No, so your kingdom was never gonna last. Because somehow you Americans think, you know, America is the fucking kingdom of heaven or something, man. You know, like it was not meant to end. Okay, but like Ricky mentioned, man, every kingdom on this earth has had its end. Okay, and America is no different. It's just as wicked as the kingdoms before it. Okay, the kingdom of heaven is yet to come, and for it to be established, America has to disappear, man. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Once those thermonuclear missiles hit America, man, that's it. America's nothing but a wasteland.
Right. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not. Right? That's talking about the Roman Empire. That's America. And everyone's starting to realize that that's what America is an empire. And like I always say, they're operating as Rome did. Rome used to go around the world talking about how they're destroying these different nations to civilize them and all this bullshit. Well, ultimately they were destroying them to feed their to fill their coffers, man. They were destroying all these different nations so that they can raise capital. Well, two reasons. One, to control the mob, because you had to keep the population of the plebs down, because most of the army were plebs. You have to keep the population of their own citizens down and keep them under control, give them something to focus on, like an enemy, an external enemy. Because the real enemy of the plebs was the patricians. Because the patricians were really oppressing the plebs. Let's break that down to the modern day times. The elite are really the enemies of you normal so-called white people, because they want to oppress you and keep you down. And that's why you got certain of them waking up. They're like, to hell with the elites and all that, because they're waking up to the fact that the elites are fucking them over. But that's the same thing that happened in Rome. Rome got more and more corrupt, and the elite of the society were basically just fucking everyone over, man. When you go into them documentaries about Rome, Rome was just like America is. You had a bunch of rich people living in gated communities, and you had a bunch of fucking ghettos, man, where you weren't safe at night, you know? You had certain poets that writ, and historians from the Roman period that writ about that, the problems that Rome, the actual city Rome had. There were certain parts in Rome that was no man's land, man. The rich wouldn't even go there unless they had armed guards to walk through the streets. They would have men that would walk with them like bodyguard, like how you see whenever you see Obama came to your neighborhood, that dude would have all kind of secret service and armed guards, man. You think any of the elite are gonna just roll up in your neighborhood? They gonna have guys with them with straps, man. All them celebrities like Glenn Beck, they got bodyguards, man, wherever they go. Definitely if they go among the common people.
Man, fucking 50 got bodyguards, man.
Yeah, even 50
you know what I'm
got
saying? So
bodyguards,
how much more these fucking these puppets of the elites, man?
So you got these in ancient Rome now, there were certain parts of the city where, yo, man, you looked like you had money. It wasn't safe for you, man, because it was cutthroat. And them motherfuckers would just slit your throat, steal what you got, and chuck your ass in the damn river, man. And that would be the end of you. No one will ever hear about what happened to you again. Well, that's just like America today, man. You got them zones with high criminality where the common people live. You had Rome, certain places, like everything was broken down, subject to fires and shit. And then the elites were above them, manipulating them, and they did the same thing. That's why you got watch that Rome. You had you got the collegia. The collegia were nothing but mafias, man. Different parts of Rome with different mafias set up, controlling different segments, man. Controlling the fisheries, just like how the mafias might control the dock, and you got to work on the dock. You got to cut them a piece, and then guess what? Who were the collegia working with? The senators. But the senators wouldn't publicly associate themselves with the collegia, but when they wanted another guy hit, they would set up one of the mafias to go and do it, the collegias, man, to go hit someone and then say, yeah, he just got mugged. It was just a mugging in the street. Well, it weren't no mugging. They're the ones that set them guys up to do that, man. And that same thing happens in America. You get guys that, oh, they were somebody and they got mugged in the street and killed. It was some other higher up that paid someone to do that, man. So that shit happens, man. The same shit that was happening in ancient Rome is happening in America today, because America's nothing but the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. And everyone's realizing that their congressmen and their senators and all that are all bought and paid for. That was the same thing that was happening in ancient Rome. They had democracy, but for some strange reason, all the laws and everything that they would pass always benefited the rich. I wonder why. Because the whole democracy is bullshit. It's all about insiders, man. Rome was a society which is all about insiders, bloodlines. And it's the same thing today with America. It's all about bloodlines and insiders, man. And if you're an insider, you're gonna get above, and you're gonna fuck over all of the people below and get rich.
I mean, if you look throughout the presidencies of the United States, man, if you look deep enough, man, you'll find that some of their cousins or some shit. You know, somehow, one way or another, man.
Societies.
Yep.
It's all, this society is all about being an insider, man. Same like Rome. Alright? Now you had Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was of a famous house, the House of Julii. Now Crassus, he wasn't of ancient bloodline, so to speak, Roman, because you had the founding, just like in America, you got the founding fathers. Rome had the same thing, and you had certain families that were there in the so-called foundation of Rome. So they were like Brutus. Brutus's family went back to a guy that even killed a tyrant before. The first guy that tried being a tyrant in Rome, tried proclaiming himself king in Rome, Brutus's great-grandfather, I believe, killed his ass. Was part of killing him. That's why they got Brutus to kill Caesar. Because they knew if Caesar was popular with the people, because he bought the people off at bread and circus, man. He played the people. He portrayed himself to be a man of the people, which he wasn't. But he had that cult. He was one of them first cults of personality, man. He
just
he
like
made
Obama,
himself
man.
just like Obama, man. Just like Obama. Obama portrays himself to be a man of the people, a man of the poor. That's why all you poor ass niggas voted for him.
But that's why he's been bailing out the banks.
But he's been bailing out the banks. That's why Caesar was paying off them senators and shit, right? Now, they was gonna kill Caesar, but that's why they had to get Brutus to do it. Because Brutus' family was well respected, because the people knew about his bloodline. So that if Brutus did it, they could market it and it would made it kind of acceptable. Because it was Brutus. If anyone else had just run up there and did that, the people would have lynched that guy, man. Alright? But that's digressing away from the point. The point is that Rome, the whole way Rome was set up is the same way America is today. Pure corruption. It's all about the elite. But the elite build this thing up, like, make you feel like everyone is a part of it. Or if you listen to Obama's speeches, it's all about making everyone feel like they're a part of it. But really, they weren't a part of it. The average Roman citizen was not really a part of Rome. Rome was the Senate, man. Rome was the patricians. That's who they care about. All you people could die. They don't give a fuck if you all disappeared. As far as they're concerned, what's the terminology they use? You guys are useless eaters, man. They'll do away with you if you're expendable. That's why they got something called the continuity of government. How come they ain't got a continuity of you? Because America is the elite, not your ass, but they make you feel like you're part of it. But you're just there to serve your little place, your little position, and they make you feel like you could get anywhere. No, you can't. Same in Rome, man. And again, watch Spartacus. They show you had that guy Batiatus, and he was a Lanista. And what did his father keep telling him? His father kept telling him, look, you ain't of the right bloodline to get up in the society. Play your position. And then you had it when he tried upping himself. You got guys like who they were of noble bloodlines. Yeah. They were like, look, who are you? You just who?
Man, put him back down again, man.
They put him in his place. Look, man. And one guy even said, look, you'll always be nobody. Even when you die and you come back, you're gonna be nobody. I'll die and come back and I'll be somebody. And you know what? In one essence, that's true. All the elite from ancient Rome, they're the same elite in America today. Bill Clinton and all them guys, they were elites. They were higher up noble families in Rome. And all you Edomites that are on that lower level, you're the same Edomites that were on a lower level in Rome and the different provinces throughout the Roman Empire.
That's right.
That's just reincarnation. So the guy said to him, you're a nobody in this life, and you're always gonna be a nobody. He said, you're trying to be somebody you're not, and eventually you're gonna get caught out. And he did. Eventually he got chopped up for trying to be where he trying to get to a level that he couldn't get to.
Trying to boast himself, man.
Trying to boast himself up. Right? So again, the scriptures, that's why the scripture says the beast which that thou sawest was and is not, because it was and is not. At one point the Roman Empire was there, then it fell, but then it came back again. And it moved, spirit, because it's the spirit of Rome is in America now. It moved from the actual Rome, and because do you know what another name they call Rome? They call Rome the eternal city, man. See, you got. So if Rome is an eternal city, do you think when they call Rome the eternal city, they're talking about the actual place Rome, No, they're talking about the idea. You see, it goes deep. The idea. What's the idea of Rome? A one world government, man. Run by the so-called white man. That's the idea. That's the eternal. That's why they call Rome today, they call Rome the eternal city. Because the elites look at Rome and they know that that is what they've revived and that's what they're building. The New World Order is nothing but the complete domination of the Roman Empire over the whole earth. Straight up, because it's going to be a Romanized system still. Right? You got there was one, you gotta watch certain things they make. These elites put things in there, man. They push certain things in there, like that Highlander manga, man, that they made. It was very interesting. And when they made it, you got the whole thing about the Highlanders, that they're immortal. You had Duncan MacLeod, and then the guy that killed his wife was also raped and killed his wife. I mean, that raped and killed his wife was a immortal as well. And they show you in that thing where Duncan MacLeod, for thousands of years, man, was just hunting this guy down wherever he could find him and trying to kill him. And every time the guy would, because he was stronger than Duncan, would get to the point of killing him, something would happen. Bad people would burst in the room or some shit, and or the roof would collapse in, and he couldn't get to kill him. Now, one of the places where he attacked him was Rome, and he was one of the higher ups in Rome, and he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, every time I try and build my dream, you keep coming and fucking it up. Until the point where they met in the super future, and he built this futuristic city where you had the super elite, and then he had robots, which he was the highest. He had robots, and then you had the people living down in the fucking slums, man, all fucked up, and he was getting ready to exterminate them. And he said, finally, I finally managed to build that great city that I was trying to build before, which is Rome. And then they showed him in Germany trying to do the same thing, because they were trying to basically set Germany up to be like Hitler set up Germany based upon Rome. Right? Which a lot of people don't know. He got a lot of this shit from Rome. So America is nothing but that idea, that spirit of Rome in America. And you could prove that all day long. It's the same people, same idea. And they doing the same thing, going around the world, making up a bunch of self-righteous excuses just to feed their fucking lasciviousness. Just to feed their consumerism in their own country. So they can have these big balls and mansions and fool themselves. And how did Rome fall eventually? They didn't have the power to actually take over the whole world, so they ran out of resources. They ran out of places to conquer. They done already conquered. They went as far as they could, and they were consuming more than they were producing. What does that sound like? It sounds like America to me. They consume more than they produce. That's why they got that big ass total debt, because they consume more than they produce. That thick clay. That's why America. That's another reason why America's doomed. All right. Again, America is a military society. Rome was a martial society. They were heavy into their military. They believed that their military was unconquerable. Right? Same thing in America. They're heavy into their military. That's why, save the troops, we trust the troops and all that. They got all kind of fucking shit. Always about the troops. Troops are always on the TV, because America's but here it is, they're peaceful people. But all they ever do is glorify war. Glorify the soldiers.
So the soldiers are one of the most important aspects of their society, man.
That's it.
You know, if you go into the book of Daniel and it talks about the statue, man, you know, the head of gold and you know, the shoulders of silver and all that. When you get down to the brass,
To the Roman Emperor with iron.
iron, sorry, it's like
It says it was made of iron.
iron. And that was talking about their military
military.
might, because compared to the other kingdoms before it, it wasn't as what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't so opulent.
It wasn't as military strong, man.
These kingdoms are more pretty to look at, more gold and all that kind of stuff. But the militaries weren't as strong as the Roman army. That's why it overcame the kingdom before it. Okay, but in terms of splendor now, Rome was nothing in comparison to the hanging gardens of Babylon, the throne gardens of
Rome was
Babylon.
a fucking shithole, man. The majority of Rome was a shithole.
That's right.
Like I said, you had guys live just like America. The majority of America is a shithole. The majority of London is a shithole.
Yep. It's not about the people, man. It's about the elites in
If
these
you actually
societies,
go
man.
around London, the majority of London is a fucking shithole. But you got some nice places where the elite live, the higher ups. In a really truly great society, everywhere is
The whole
nice.
kingdom, man.
The whole kingdom is nice. Even the lowest person is living good. That's how it's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, man. In our kingdom, the lowest Israelite, because we ain't all gonna have the same amount of money, because there's no such thing as equality. There's gonna be poor Israelites, but you don't want to see a poor Israelite in the kingdom because they're gonna be rich. He's only gonna be poor, like in comparison to like King David, but he gonna be rich with crown jewels. That's a truly splendid kingdom. When you go there and you're like, raw, like, where is the ghetto? There is no ghetto. There is no slum.
I was reading Chronicles, man, when King Solomon was ruling, stones were like silver, man.
Yep.
You know, and
Jake would have been good, man.
we're poor. I can't imagine nothing like that right now.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So that's
even
the high
in this
level I'm on
man's
now.
kingdom, they don't share the wealth around like that. It could be like that in this kingdom, but your elites are so fucking wicked, man.
So gluttonous, man.
Gluttonous. Right. So let's move on the point. Because we have to prove the beast is talking about America. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. Right? The bottomless pit represents Europe as a place, but really represents a condition. Because what is a bottomless pit? A place you can't get out of. That place that the so-called white man couldn't get out of, the location was Europe,
That's where they were.
but the condition was basically being downtrodden. Right now, Jacob been in the bottomless pit. America is the bottomless pit for Jake. Bound up. No respect in the world. Can't do nothing. But the white man was in probably a worse situation. When you read about the history, no one went dealing with the white man for them 1,000 years, man. He was bound up. He couldn't go nowhere. He couldn't do nothing. He wasn't going around sending armies all over the world. He wasn't going around running his mouth to
anyone
in the damn G20 summit. You had the Arabs were doing the little thing. The Jake was doing most of it at that time. The medieval times was really Jake. A lot of Jake kingdoms all over the world, man. And you got the Persians. They weren't trying to meet up here and invite the white man. No one wanted to know this guy. This guy was a nobody. He was bound up and he couldn't get out of that situation until the time when the Mosai started to raise him up out of that bottomless pit. And then he went from that condition, from that state, came up out of Europe and went over there to America, man. Which PBS had a thing on New York, man. All day today. You know what I'm saying? It was alright, man, but I should have really recorded it, man. They were going throughout the full history of New York, man. See, these devils glorify in their history, you know? Right. And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. So guess what? When you went over there into America, that was you ascending out of the bottomless pit and then re-establishing the Roman Empire. The baton got passed on from Britain to America. That's why the British Empire went down and it became the Anglo-American Empire. They got transferred over. the military power went from Britain to America. And America became the military power, but Britain is still like their special relationship and all that bullshit. You know? All that faggot shit, yeah, special relationship. Bush and Tony Blair rolling around in the sheets. That special relationship. And their wives in the next room doing the same thing. Lapping each other up. But anyway, it says going into perdition. So you was always doomed from day one to go down into that perdition, boy. Right?
The road to destruction, man.
The road, there was a movie called that, right? With Hanks, Tom Hanks in it. The road to perdition. You devils, from since you stepped foot in America, you was always on the road to them missiles, man. And what's the word of the day? It was inevitable. It was inevitable. Unavoidable. Inescapable. And you got devils trying to avoid the missiles. Oh, Russia might do it. Oh, but look, man, America's gonna be destroyed, man. It's in the scriptures. Right? And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Right? The woman is talking about America, that whore. America is nothing but a whore, which the elite are using to set up their one world government. Right? America's been used and abused by the elite. Hell, America's been used by and abused by the Most High. Alright? As a great prison camp for the Israelites. Right? Now the 7 heads represent the 7 great kingdoms, so-called great kingdoms that Esau's had. Greece, Britain was the 7th head. Germania Major, Germania Minor. These are all great kingdoms that America's standing upon. America's taken on all the greatness of those kingdoms into itself. They took on the greatness of the British Empire into themselves. Right here, you know the CIA was set up by MI6, through MI6, man. And MI6 trained the CIA on a lot of the shit, on the know-how of how to be a secret agency, man. They show you that in that film, The Good Shepherd, because MI6 is an older secret service than
Well, this is the thing. Everything that's in America originated from Britain, because they all moved from Britain to America. So they had to take knowledge and knowledge and information from Britain, naturally. You know, but America boasts itself above all these kingdoms now, because they have the financial, the military power now. Okay, though it's on decline, but they gained the upper hand through World War I and II, man.
Yep.
You know.
Hold on. It's starting to get too chilly out here right now. Shit, man. I feel like backwash, man. I feel like backwash right at 40th Street Israelite right now, man. I feel cold out here. Let me just put my jacket on, man. I ain't gonna go home. Fucking 40th Street Dairy Queen, man. Just put a jacket on, son. Alright? Okay. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, because at that time 5 great kingdoms of Esau had already fallen. Germania Major had fallen, which they all fell to Rome. Germania Major, Germania Minor, Gaul, which is the French, which they later became known as France. Espanol, okay? That's why they all became part of the Roman Empire. The meat of it. They became part of the meat of it, the body of it. Right? Because Judea was also a province of Rome, but they weren't like, you know, it's just like the Anglo-American Empire. America, they carved up Africa and all that shit, but fucking if Ivory Coast ain't part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? The Europe, NATO and America, that's the body of the empire. Then tentacles go out and grab up lands. Yeah? Just so that's how it was back then. So you had
That's why I always done the colonies and things like that, as
Right.
opposed to.
so you
being
had the
Britain or
five that
whatever.
were fallen, Gaul and all that had to bow to Rome, which was the one that is. At the time the power of the empire was in Rome. That's why it was known as the Roman Empire. The power of the Edomite Empire, that was the specific kingdom. Then it says 5 are fallen, 1 is, that makes 6, and the other is not yet come. Britain had not become great yet. Even though Britain was part of the Roman Empire, Britain they hadn't had their moment to shine, so to speak. But they did later. What that was known as the British Empire. Spearheaded by the Rothschilds, man. Nathaniel. And the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. The British Empire was for a short period of time, okay, till the Americans took the precedence, till the baton got passed, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the A. That's America, okay. Even he is the 8th. Yeah, and is of the 7. What does it mean he is of the 7? Meaning the America came out of the British. Okay? That's why what's the dominant language in America? English. Hold on, if America was basically colonized by 3 different major countries. Spain, France, and the English. So why is the dominant language in America English? Because the dominant force in America is from the British. The dominant influence is from the British. Even though the dickheads said the French are our oldest allies, but why don't you speak French then? Why was he speaking French? Because you motherfuckers got most of your shit from Britain, which fulfilled prophecy. That's why. Otherwise, America would speak French or would speak Spanish, but they don't. They speak English. Okay? Hell, most of their top leaders and shit were damn squires to the crown in England. It says, the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And that's talking about them 10 NATO nations, man. They receive power with America. America goes in, does the majority of the bombings, and they get their cut. Just like Libya, France, they got their cut out of that oil. That's why Europe, the EU, do well, because they're joined in with America to basically fuck over the rest of the world. The West, what do they call them? The Western powers. But hold on, how can they not involve Brazil in being the Western powers? Because Brazil ain't part of the NATO, man. The Western powers is NATO. America and the European powers, which it started with 10 nations. And them nations get power with the beast, with America. America's America's the whore that rides the beast. America's there with them, they roll together. America is the de facto leader of NATO.
Because the most powerful. That's why when they go for these summits and shit, really the only word that counts is America's, man. Whatever America wants to do, man, that's what generally happens, man. You know?
And it says, they have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. The power of Shem is their military. That's why they're in there. Are they not in that NATO agreement? That's why you got you guys talking about how Britain, listen, man, when America goes headlong into that World War III, Britain and America and all that are going headlong in there too. Because they signed that NATO treaty, man. That mutual defense. So if Syria or Iran or any one of them guys attack America, that's the same as attacking Britain and France, and it's going to enact that treaty. Just like if Syria had attacked Turkey, they could have enacted the treaty because Turkey's part of NATO. And Turkey was looking to go to NATO and get that deal done. But the elites probably said, no, we don't want to start it yet. Right? These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the land shall overcome them. Because the main force that's going to fight against Yahushua when he comes back is basically going to be NATO. Because NATO is basically the world army, man. It's going to be NATO, and NATO are going to join forces with the other countries, nations all over the world, but they're going to run it. Just like NATO runs the UN. Basically. But America's not going to be there. America's going to be destroyed. Alright? That's another thing that's inevitable. All these governments, you people love these damn governments and voting for these governments. Don't you know these same governments are going to come together to fight the Lord? But there's another thing that's inevitable. They're going to be destroyed. According to the word of the Heavenly Father. Let's get that. 2nd Esdras 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. That's talking about Yahushua. When he comes with the chariots, all these different nations, they're going to see all these different peoples, you're going to see them chariots and you're going to straight up shit yourself, man. Okay, just to say it blunt. You're going to be scared of the unknown, man. You ain't going to know whether it's, you're going to be scared, man. That's going to be something that you didn't ever expect was actually going to happen in real life, man. To see chariots, man, all over. You're going to have the fear in you, man. You're going to be terrified, man. Because you don't know what's going to happen. The fear of the unknown. Right? Let right now one chariot just appear over London and just stay there, man. You people are going to bug out. You're going to be scared, man. Let alone thousands. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth failed when it feeleth the fire. The chariots are going to be shooting out thunderbolts on people, man. Beginning with America. Because they're going to be involved in lighting up part of that fire in America, man. That the missiles are also going to assist with. Alright? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So what's going to happen is, you're going to have your World War III, which we're going to get into according to the prophecy shortly anyway. In the process of that World War III, the nations basically are going to say, look, this whole World War III started because of America anyway. America's the bully. You can already see that trend. America's the bully. Even the Europeans, they're going to think, look, man, this whole World War III thing really come about because of America. Because who's going to start it? America and them so-called Jews are going to start it, and Europe is going to get dragged in. Everyone's going to get dragged in. This is a thing where, just like World War II, because of all them different in fact, what is it called again? Let me get the wiki. What's the World Mutual Defense Pacts Treaties? There's a Wikipedia article.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just trying to pull it. It's APAC, isn't it? AIPAC, something like that.
Right, Mutual Defense Treaty. Now it says a mutual defense treaty is an international agreement obligating the signatories to come to each other's defense in circumstances laid out in the terms of the treaty. Depending on the wording, they may be for actual defense or euphemism that is also suited for aggressive use. Mutual defense treaties may be bilateral or multilateral, meaning between two countries or more. Now, historically, historically you had the Austrian Defense Treaty and all that. That's why when World War III happened, it was a world war, because you had all these different nations who had defense treaties with each other. So all it took was for the elites to spark off a war between two countries, and straight away it's like in a club. You might be in a club, right? And you got one set of men, they're like a gang, they're down for each other. They're like, if anyone touches you, I'm gonna tear, you know the deal. And then you get another guy on the other side, tear, the same thing. These two meet up at the bar, some shit happens, and one guy gets bottled. It don't end there. Then another 5 guys come from over there, like, what? Then woo, and then they all start fucking each other up, because they had a mutual defense treaty, man. And World War III breaks out in that club, man, because it's that mutual defense. Two people became a straight battle royale. You can watch it on YouTube. There's videos. There's fight videos on YouTube. You see it happen. One guy gets smacked, and that was it, man.
Everyone getting smacked.
It turns into a WWE fucking brawl out there. Well, that's what happened in World War I. That's what happened in World War II. Now, it says here, current treaties. Now, you got the Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance. That was formed in 1947. That's after World War II, isn't it?
1947, yeah.
And that's got the United States in it, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, so forth. The central principle contained in its articles is that an attack against one is to be considered an attack against them all. This was known as the hemispheric defense doctrine. The treaty was initially created in 1947 and came into force in 1948. Bahamas was the most recent country to sign and ratify in 1982. Basically, this one is set up for if anyone ever attacked the I think the Panama Canal. So that's one treaty you got there, which obviously you're gonna have some treachery going on. The scriptures tell you that. They that were at peace with thee, was that in Obadiah, have deceived thee. Because some nations that America think is with them, they're gonna flip sides over to Russia, man. So you always got that angle too. But to the most part, here's the big boy one, the North Atlantic Treaty. That's the big boy. Establishes NATO Mutual Defense Organization. Signatories 28, but originally there were 10. You got Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Turkey, United Kingdom, and obviously the big United States, right? And then you got the original members, which is Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, the United Kingdom. Yeah, that's your 10. Yeah? And then you get the United States. That's your 10 original 10 kings. Right? Now, Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty Agreement says the key section of the treaty was Article 5. This committed each member state to consider an armed attack against one state. So when it says state, it means even not just if they attack the country. Basically, if they got a ship and you attack that ship, that's considered you armed attack against the state. Consider an armed attack against one state to be an armed attack against all states. This article has only been invoked once in NATO history by the United States after September 11th attacks. Aha! So if they do a major false flag in America and blame it on Syria or Iran, what's the precedent that was set in 9/11? They can invoke Article 5 of the NATO agreement, and guess what? Britain and all them countries are gonna have to go to war. That's gonna be different to Assad supposedly chemical weapon his own people. This is the treaty now. So Cameron ain't gonna have to go get agreement with no, they just gonna go, yep, they attacked America. And then you also got NLEO 9, which is basically a universal response by the different nations to a terrorist attack that happens anywhere in the world. They were saying that if anywhere in the world a terrorist attack happens, if a terrorist attack happens, a major attack happens in America, Britain is going to treat it as if it happened in Britain. NLEO 9, national level exercise 2009, man. Maybe the brother can do a video on that, man. We need to go back to that, man. To NLEO 9, man, because that shows you that, man, when this thing kicks off, martial law ain't just gonna be in America. They're gonna have the same response here, in France, everywhere.
That's why when September 11th happened, man, there was high alert here as well. You know, but it didn't happen on us or this soil. You know, but it was treated just the same. Same with the Boston bombings, man. Now it's something small.
Now, under Article 4, you can trigger Article 4. The treaty also includes an article that does not trigger military intervention, but merely consultation over military matters. It has been invoked 3 times, and each time by Turkey, once in 2003 over the Second Persian Gulf War, once in June 2012 after the shooting down of a Turkish military jet. Hey, that was
yep.
And in October 2012 after Syrian attacks on Turkey and their counterattacks. So they could have went to Article 5, but the elite said, look, man, just go to Article 4 and get some advice. Right? Let's see what this is. Right, so that's your NATO. So straight away, if Russia, Iran, if Iran attacks, or Syria or Hezbollah or whatever it is, if America go over there into the Middle East and attack Syria and they retaliate with an armed assault on American ships, they can trigger Article 5. Or if, like they're saying, Iran is saying, some damn false flag they do and blame it on Iran because they're saying Iran already saying that they would do it anyway. Or it could be a real terrorist attack. They could trigger that and say, look, man, we've just been attacked by Iran. They just took out Chicago.
Yep.
Boom.
Or you know, the infamous Israel, man.
Well, you know whatever happens, their hands are gonna be in it.
Yeah, man, they have to be, man.
Them gutter rats.
But just to point out, that Israel is a state of America, man. You know. So any attack on Israel, man, America have to look closely into that. So even though you Americans, you hate Jews as well, man. Don't lie, man. You know, you hate the fuckery that they cause in the Middle East, man. You know, so regardless if you want to help them or not, you have to. You know, Because that's the treaties that have been set up, man.
Well, you got a lot of these good Christian Americans, man, who believe in the state of Israel being a fulfillment of prophecy. So they're gonna run over there and die anyway, fighting for the Knesset. Now you also got 1951. See, this is the kind of stuff that Nate and these other guys are not gonna go into, man. See, we breaking it down right now and showing you how the Most High's wired this whole thing up through the elites, where there's gonna be a World War III, man. Too many interconnecting motherfuckers, man. And that's how World War I was kicked off. That's how World War II was kicked off. Too many interconnected motherfuckers, man. So just two people getting a beef, and it ain't just two. It's them two people and their friends, man. Gang war.
Yeah.
Now there's a,
Sorry, but saying let's not forget, Russia's allies, Iran's allies,
yeah,
man.
we're gonna get to them. Mutual Defense Treaty between Republic of the Philippines and the United States of America. That's why it's gonna be a world war. ANZUS Treaty, Mutual Defense Alliance between Australia, New Zealand, and the US. Right? Let me have a look at that ANZUS thing real quick. Right? They're to cooperate, Australia and the United States to cooperate on defense matters in the Pacific Ocean area. Though today, the treaty is understood to relate to attacks worldwide.
If I could add something to that, that's why recently America was looking to bolster its defenses in Australia to counteract China, man.
Yep.
Because obviously they don't want China getting out of hand, so they're bolstering numbers in Australia to manage the China situation better.
Yep, that's exactly right, man. Because China looking to muscle in on that.
To dominate.
Region, man. Yep. Mutual Defense Treaty 1953, creating an alliance with South Korea and the United States. US and Japan, Mutual Defense Assistance Agreement. But we all know that Japan's definitely going to launch missiles on America in